Welcome to the GME E&S slide rail instruction video. We will cover several topics in this video, including benefits and applications, slide rail components, installation procedures, strut cart and extension assembly, removal procedures, the panel extractor, and sheeting frame guide installation. The first step in installing the GME E&S slide rail system is to dig a pilot cut. The cut should be 3 feet longer than the panel being used and approximately 4 feet deep. When the pilot cut is completed, place the outside panel in the trench. Backfill the panel on each side so it stands by itself. Next, drop the corner rail over the end of the outside panel. There are guides in both the panel and the rail to make sure it locks into place correctly. Dig another pilot cut 3 feet longer than the panel being used and 4 feet deep. This cut should be made at a 90-degree angle from the end panel. The outside panel can be installed starting at a 45-degree angle, then snapped into the rail and lowered into position. This procedure allows the panel to be installed at ground level rather than going up and over the top of the rail. Next, install the second corner rail. As with the first corner, lower the rail over the end of the outside panel. Dig another pilot cut at 90 degrees to the end panel. Install the third outside panel by swinging it into place from a 45-degree angle and lowering it into position. To check the squareness of the slide rail system, measure diagonally between the two outside panels and make adjustments as necessary. Also verify that the entire system is level and plumb at every step of the installation. Next, remove the remaining dirt from the inside of the system. At this stage of the installation, dig only as deep as the bottom of the outside panels. The strut cart and extension assembly is used to set the width of the slide rail system and to stabilize the system during and after installation. The extensions are available in various widths to accommodate the contractor's needs. The first step in the assembly process is to lay the strut cart and extension assembly on a flat surface with adequate working space on all sides. Step 2 is to guide the first linear rail over the end of the strut, past the rollers, and then to the required position. Next, repeat this process for the second linear rail on the opposite end of the strut cart and extension assembly. Step 3. Place the stop pins above the strut cart and extension assembly into the appropriate holes in the linear rails. The pin holes are keyed to lock them in place. When lifting the completed unit, the strut cart and extension assembly will seat securely against the stop pins. The completed strut cart and extension assembly is lifted into place and lowered over the ends of the outside panels. Be sure to remove the stop pins to allow the adjustment of the strut cart and extension assembly as installation progresses. With the strut cart and extension assembly loosely in place, backfill around the outside panels. When backfilling is completed, use the excavator's reinforced bucket to drive the linear rails securely into the soil. Be sure the bucket impacts on the 2-inch push pads to prevent damage to the rail. Dig inside the first bay to remove excess dirt. Continue to drive the linear rails deeper as dirt is removed from the excavation. The bottom of the linear rails should be approximately 2 to 3 feet deeper than the outside panels. Lower the outside panels as you go. The panels should be lowered to approximately original grade. When this is completed, dig inside the bay, undercutting 2 to 3 feet below the bottom edge of the outside panels to prepare for the inside panel installation. Lower the inside panel between the rails, guiding it into place alongside the outside panel. Repeat this process on the other side of the excavation. The outside panels will no longer need to be moved at this point. The inside panels will be used to reach the desired depth. In cases where you have deep applications, additional panels can be added for greater depths. 2 panels can be stacked on top of each other and joined together with stacking brackets. The stacking brackets are pinned in place using the lower panel lifting eyes. To install a second bay, begin by making the pilot cuts at each side of the slide rail system. The pilot cuts should be 3 feet longer than the panels being used and 4 feet deep. Install the outside panels as previously described. The GME E&S slide rail system offers 2 options for installing the panels. The first option allows the contractor to swing the panel in at ground level. This option helps the contractor clear any overhead obstructions at the site. The second option is to install the panel over the top of the rail into the open track, in cases where there might be close obstructions beside the work site. Measure the system horizontally for squareness. Then drop the next strut cart and extension assembly over the ends of the outside panels. Again, be sure to remove the stop pins to allow the adjustment of the strut cart and extension assembly as installation progresses. Drive the linear rails into place by pushing on the pads on top of the rails. Remove excess dirt from the excavation and continue to work the rails down. As before, lower the linear rails approximately 2 to 3 feet deeper than the outside panel. Then continue to push the outside panels down to approximately original grade. It is important to check for level and squareness during the entire installation process to ensure proper fit and prevent possible binding during the removal of the components. Install the inside panels and lower them to desired depths. To keep the system aligned properly, it is important to keep the strut cart and extension assembly as close to the bottom of the linear rail as the work will allow. When installing the inside panels, it is important to undercut the panels by a few feet. This allows the panels to slide down easier. To install additional bays, follow the previous procedures as required. To install the end panel, place only one of the corner rails over the end of the outside panel. Complete the installation of the panel on the opposite side of the final bay. Then, dig the end cut and drop the end panel in place aligned as near as possible for final assembly. When installing the final corner rail to complete the system, use the corner rail template to aid in the alignment of the adjoining panels. This is a time-saving device which ensures that the last corner rail will go in perfectly. To remove the GME E&S slide rail system, backfill the trench inside the system and remove the inside panels. Once all the inside panels have been removed, backfill to the outside panels. Then remove all the outside panels. Once all inside and outside panels are removed, remove the strut cart and extension assemblies. The final step is the removal of the rails. In extreme cases or difficult situations, such as deep excavations or exceptionally heavy soil pressure, GME offers a panel extractor to aid in the removal of panels that are bound. GME's panel extractor utilizes current pipe bursting technology in conjunction with other equipment typically available at the job site. Simply connect the extractor to the bound panel and to the excavator. Then apply the pneumatic pressure. Through the combination of vibration from the extractor and the pull of the excavator, the bound panel will break free and begin to move. To install the GME E&S sheeting frame guide, dig a pilot cut 3 feet longer than the frame itself and 4 feet deep. Lower the frame into the rail or swing the frame in from a 45-degree angle in the same manner as slide rail panel installation. Install an outside panel or another sheeting frame on the opposite side of the excavation. Then make a pilot cut to accommodate a strut cart and extension assembly. Prior to installing the strut cart and extension assembly, check for squareness. As in normal slide rail installation procedures, lower the rails in strut cart and extension assembly into place. The sheeting frame should be close to final grade and then leveled to prevent possible binding during the removal. Remove excess dirt from the excavation by undercutting 2 to 3 feet deeper than the bottom of the sheeting frame and continue to drive the rails into position. The sheeting elements have a beveled edge at the lower end to make installation easier. Lower the elements into the sheeting frame slots. Once all the sheeting elements are in place, continue the installation by undercutting 2 to 3 feet deeper than the sheeting frame panel. Then, push the sheeting elements and rails into their final positions. If you would like more information about these or other GME products, please contact us at 1-800-248-2054 or visit us on the web at www.gme-shields.com.